Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here for the review for the Braxton, not the Family Values Season 1 episode. I forgot what number this is, but I'll have it right down below. Like I told y'all the other day, this show has not been good to watch. I was actually going to skip this episode, but I want to honor my commitments in these last couple months of 2024. So even though it's late, I decided to come on and do the review. This episode in particular was a little bit uncomfortable to watch. I'm just going to say what everybody else has been saying. This entire show this season has really been feeling like a lot of them overcompensating for how they treated Tracy. Not all of them, but mostly. Hell, even Miss Evelyn. And not that she treated Tracy any type of way, but I always felt like she loved Tracy and she showed Tracy attention, but she knew her sisters kind of treated Tracy differently, but it's like she never truly addressed it. She kind of let them work that out on their own. And so even in that way, I still felt like Tracy was failed. It's hard watching them overcompensate because I know they're doing it from a place of guilt. And again, I don't think it's all the sisters. I can't really pinpoint. I'm not going to say I can't pinpoint who, because we definitely know who, but I can't pinpoint what areas they're doing it. I'm going to try to, but I can't for sure say, right? So I'm going to try to as I do the review. But not much here. This will be a really short review. So yeah, have a quick little seat, but don't sit too long. The episode actually picked up where it left off with them breaking the fourth wall and talking to the producer. Tawanda is like, absolutely not. We will not be talking to Kevin Sr. He is a liar. He planned a funeral for Tracy. We did not come to that funeral. Trina mostly was talking about why they didn't come to the funeral because it was something that he put on that was against Tracy's wishes. Tawanda said, we will not be talking to him. He is fake. He is phony. I have always fought for Tracy and I will continue to do so. Now that's where you're wrong, because I distinctly remember an episode where Tracy was calling you a snake, Tawanda. Now, granted, y'all may have fell out at that time, but I think saying you have always fought for Tracy might be a stretch. And the fans know that Tracy has always stated that her husband was the only one who rode for her. So excuse us if we are a little, I'm confused. I don't know which way to go with it. I'm not all the way on the sister side, but I'm not all the way on Kevin's senior side either, because there is a reason why your wife did not make you like the executor of everything that she had left. So that part, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tracy, girl, you did a number on this, honey. You said, I'm going to get the people to talk about. Bye. Y'all figure this shit out. I see what you did. Now I ain't mad. I'm actually chuckling now. Girl, you did that. Anyway, let me quit. Tracy said, I'm going to give y'all production value, baby, even in death. Something is wrong with me, you guys. I have a morbid sense of humor. Excuse me. So anyway, Tawanda going off about that. They showed flashbacks of Tracy saying she felt left out about the record deal and how Trina had a baby a long time ago. Y'all know the story. But when it came to her, she couldn't go sing because she had a baby and they did all that. Well, Tracy, you made your decision. You know what I'm saying? Tawanda, though, tells it that they were on tour as a group, the four of them. But then once Tony went on tour, they quit all of that, went on tour with Tony, and that Tracy did get to go. But I don't know if I believe that story, because if that's true, then why was she acting as if she never got the opportunity to sing with y'all? What's the timeline? Or did she get to sing sometimes and other times she had to be at home and y'all weren't understanding of her schedule? Like, somewhere in the mix is the damn truth. Okay? Somewhere. But I'm going to move on, because I don't even know what to make of that. But let Tawanda tell it. She's always fought for Tracy, and she's not going to stop now. That's what she said. I'm not on the Tamar hate train. I just want to make that clear. But if anybody is overcompensating, the two I'm going to say that's overcompensating the most, I think, is Tawanda and Tamar. Tamar, this part of the show is really more so about the single she's releasing. But we take that time. The producer she's working with is somebody who also worked with Tracy. Him and Tracy were good friends. Even he, about to cry a little bit talking about Tracy and some of the things, moments he had with her, and how she felt about some of Tamar's music, and Tamar's getting emotional and talking about her single and how she knew it was the one, and how she felt like, she says later, she feels like Tracy just shows up at times, when she's doing certain things, including in the release of this music. We see her talking about Vince and how Vince still listens to every song that, she's about to put out. She still clears it through him. So I guess they're good. And it really was just more so about her release. Listen, I'm glad that Tamar's releasing music. She's an amazing talent. But I don't know, like her talking about Tracy and how supportive she was of her music and how she has this song that she plays with Tracy. Like, nobody was supportive of Tracy's music. Are they trying to... I used to review this show. Okay, let me not say they weren't. They had moments where they were like, oh, Tracy, if you want to sing, you should. But I wouldn't say that anybody was super supportive. Hell, ain't nobody supportive of nobody's music, really, outside of Tony's. Because y'all remember how they did Trina when she was backup singing. But even Tamar, had it not, really Vince is the one who rode for her the most. So maybe support music ain't in there. Listen. Wasn't nobody supporting Tracy's music. That's what I do know. And I don't think I'm wrong about that, but one of y'all can correct me if I am. I don't have no clips from the dinner, but they end up going to get dinner, child. And during this dinner, they're talking about the mix-up between Kevin Sr., Kevin Jr., not respecting Tracy's wishes, how they've even tried to suggest how Kevin Sr.'s tried to suggest that Tracy wasn't in her right mind, to which Mama Braxton speaks up and said, no, I was around. And I asked Tracy, I said, Tracy, is Kevin going to be able to handle, going against his father in this way? Because clearly, at least Mama E and maybe one of the sisters was aware of what the breakdown of the will was, including the lawyer, because he recorded everything. And she said, it's time for my son to man up. Like, my son gonna have to man up. And they all shared a laugh about that. Did y'all hear Tamar when she suggested that she had parents that wasn't together no more, but they could still come together and agree? I said, are the parents in the room with us? Are the parents who agree in the room with us? Because Mama Evelyn and that twin of hers, Daddy Braxton, I swear them two look alike. They do not get along. They just recently started being cordial to each other. We've seen how they quote unquote get along. So, girl, anyway. Anyways, what we talking about next, child? I done got lost. But they decide they're going to have like a crab boil for Tracy's birthday celebration. And for this birthday celebration, Tawanda calls Scratchy. She's still making fetch happen. To the point, y'all, she done told Siri to call Scratchy. I said, look at this fool. Anyway, and Scratchy is going to come as a surprise guest. So we got that to look forward to. I don't like this man, and I think he's really mean. But one day I am going to, when I get my TikTok situation, I am going to do a full layout of the Braxton husbands. I'm going to do a full layout from start to finish, just a synopsis of all the Braxton husbands, because it just has not been good over there. I almost wonder if somebody put a curse on that family. But yeah, you know what? It's a shame that out of all the Braxton husbands, the one I liked the most was a Tony's ex-husband and Tawanda's ex-husband. He was just lazy. Andre. He was just lazy. But child of Braxton husbands. I don't like this one. I think he's mean. I think he has a little bit of controlling in him. I think that Tawanda overshot this time, because when she was with Witchacallit, he was very much a pushover. He was really, mumbly and just swarmy. That's the best word. May he rest in peace. But he always just looked like he was just right on the edge of whispering, and he'd be looking around the room while he talking to you. Look at me, boy. Look at me like a man. Look at me in my eye. But may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. And I think this time she was like, I'm going to get me somebody strong and strong-willed. And baby, you overshot, because Vaughn get on my damn nerves. So I'm with him when he right, though. So they went out with her sons, and both of the sons state, well, I don't know if the other son doesn't want children, but the one who's married has stated he does not want children. He's been married for some years, been in a relationship for longer. They said they don't want kids, right? Now, we all know you could change your mind, but Vaughn gave them some good advice that I think more men should give other young men. He said, listen, you don't got no control over that, right? And basically what he's saying is women have children. And I tell men this all the time. Y'all can get on here and, why would you do that when I don't want no kids? And, women control sex. And well, if you believe all of that, and if you also believe that we don't make sound decisions, why would you let us have control over whether or not you would become a father? Right? Doesn't it seem like you would take some of that power and control back as a man? Because I know y'all love to say that too. Well, as a man, take your power back. If you don't want no kids, make a decision. Okay? So Vaughn tells them, look, if you know you really don't want no kids, baby, get that thing tied up. Get it tied up. Because you don't want to leave that in their control. Because essentially, that's what it is. And I wasn't mad at Vaughn for saying it. Now, I do believe that Trina's oldest son is, if he's not 30, he's close to it. Okay? Him and his wife are probably just enjoying their, newlywed life together. No children. Nothing wrong with that. There's a possibility they could change their mind. First of all, vasectomies are reversible. That's number one. Number two, they're way cheaper and way less invasive than getting your tubes tied. Number three, Trina gonna say, well, you shouldn't have told him that. You should have just been like, people change their minds. And when a woman's biological clock start ticking, like anything could happen. And he can just use condoms. Trina, what married people? Are you using condoms? Because I know you're not in menopause. Are you using condoms? Or are your tubes tied? Or are you on birth control? I don't know too many married people using condoms. Hell, I don't know too many non-married people. Just being honest. Folks not using no condoms, especially people that's been together for a long time. They don't use condoms. Okay? And I would rather you be responsible than because she was like, that's not what happens. Like children, anything could happen. And that's our problem, goddamn. I'm cussing a lot. I'm sorry. That's a lot of our problem. Always just anything could happen. Like kids is just having children is financial planning and having children, same thing. It's in the same box. Same box. You can't just be letting stuff happen. Not in this economy. Not in this economy. Okay, I ain't saying you got to plan it to the T, but you got to know where your life is headed before you just start popping out babies. So I thought that Trina was being kind of selfish in the way that she kept asking, where's my grandbaby? Where's my grandbaby? And I want to be this and I want to be that. It's not about you. And I think one thing that we have to understand as parents that I hope my mom has understood is, I said we, I'm not a parent, but I think one thing parents have to understand is that you don't have your children so they can live out a life that you want. You have your children so they can live out a life that they want. And you give them the best guidance they can. And they may not live the life that you want them to live. They may not have children. They may not get married. But what matters is, do they have joy? Are they happy? Are they mentally well? Those are the things that you need to find important as a parent. It's not about what you want. If you wanted some grandchildren, then I don't know, adopt some little ones. I don't know what to tell you. But they're not here and not obligated to give you grandchildren. Trina, let that rest in your spirit. I had to tell my mama the same thing. She's still not over it, y'all. She's still not over it. As a matter of fact, I tried to get my tubes tied once when I was 30 and again when I turned 32, I think. And my doctor told me no because I was single and because I had never had children. So he was just like, well, you might get married and all this other stuff, child. I was just like, Female doctor said no too. Before anybody asked, she also said no because I hadn't had any children. So now the eggs I have are scrambled, and I'm not worried about them getting fertilized because you got to have sex to do that. Anyway, Trina, it's not your decision to make. Lastly, y'all, the party. The party was going on well. They even invited a friend of theirs, Denise, who used to be a friend of Tawanda's, and then her and Tracy got really close, and she was there the entire time Tracy was sick, like dropped everything and came on through. Seemed to have been around even longer than the sisters had been around. And Tamar takes this opportunity, this party, this celebration of her life, this celebration in her honor, to let everybody know that she was not aware that Tracy was sick until the end, until like the last couple of weeks. They kept it a secret from her. Nobody told her. And her attempt to lay the guilt trip on everybody, to me, backfired, because nobody was really fazed by her doing it, number one. Number two, all it did was bring forth the conversation about a beef that her and Tracy were having around the time of her death. Maybe not at the exact time, but around the time. So that got brought up, that she tried to act confused about. And then the producer was like, oh yeah, from the Howard show. So now it's making it look like, was you just lying and acting like you didn't remember? But she acted like it was so far ahead of time. And Trina said, well, maybe she still carries some feelings. Listen, everybody at the table was tight-lipped about the fact that Tracy did not tell Tamar at the time, and that the only reason Tamar found out is because she saw her mother crying, and her mother, when she asked why, her mother said, I'm not at liberty to tell you. Now listen, once stuff gets to this point, I think Tamar should have known, especially if Mama E in there boohoo crying, because even if Tracy didn't want her to know, she gonna be around her sisters and she's gonna be around her mother. And at the very least, it's helpful to know what's going on with them. That they are already in a grieving process because she is sick and her days are numbered. But she said she didn't know until the hospice came. And Miss E said that Tracy wanted to tell her herself. She also tried to throw in that Tony didn't really know either, but Tamar had already clocked that to be a lie. And I do believe that's a lie. Maybe she didn't know immediately, but she definitely knew. Again, we don't know fully the reasons why she didn't decide to tell Tamar. Could have been Tamar is extra, y'all. Tamar is extra. Maybe she didn't want to deal with, but why you just not telling me? And why you not there's no telling why she didn't. She just didn't. Okay. And trying to lay the guilt trip on everybody else it doesn't matter at this point. You just gonna have to feel how you feel. Tracy, y'all let her feel how she feel. And in all honesty, it sounds like from Denise, Tracy didn't want to tell none of y'all. Denise was really tiptoeing. And you could tell she was hurt that y'all was even bringing this up, Tamar. You could tell it was hurting her feelings, that it was uncomfortable for her. She just a friend. She ain't on this bootleg show. So it sounds to me when she said that Tracy didn't want to bother y'all, don't that make y'all all feel sad? Not just you, Tamar, who mad that you got told later than everybody else. It really should make all y'all feel some type of way. Because if my sister was sick and on her deathbed and told me, I just didn't tell you because I didn't want to bother you, that would make me think that at some point in my life, I made my sister feel like a burden. I made my sister feel like what she had going on wasn't important. I made my sister feel like she didn't matter. The fact that friend knew to come immediately and y'all found out after her. Now, don't get me wrong. I got some friends that probably might find out before my family because, I roll tight with some of mine. But all y'all should feel crazy. Tamar, you should feel the craziest for bringing it up at a celebration thinking somebody was gone. What you want them to do? Feel sympathy for you? Feel bad? Because they not. And you can tell by the look in their faces they not. They not. So your attempt to start some drama, it didn't work. Go back to the drama. Tamar, if you didn't want to be a part of the cast, a part of the show, you shouldn't have done so. We should have just stayed off, because it's very much given. I didn't want to do this no way, but since y'all making me, I'm going to call y'all out for what y'all did to me. We don't want another season of that. Anyway, I'm sure there's more of this to come. I felt like just about everybody was overcompensating. Tracy, girl, you really mixed it up before you left up out of here. I got to give you your props. They're going to be talking about you that's what you plan to do, ain't it? Baby, she said, I'm going to get them coming and I'm going to get their ass going. Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. And I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.